G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, and that's right, we've got some VC royalty here for today's interviewing the vinyl community. A man who swears by Oxfam, but not because of his altruistic beliefs, more for the bargains he finds. A lover of the 12-inch, and no, that's not a line from a Sid James Carry On movie. He loves a prop. Remember that time he had the Voice Master 2000 microphone? Oh, the hilarity. Or the time he wore a shirt. It's the bloke I'd love to get on the gas with in the pub. It's Harris Pilton. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, man. How are you? All right?
Yeah, going good. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no worries. Anytime. Thanks for inviting me. Cheers.
Pleasure, mate. It's good to get the big guns on.
So, a long way down the list.
I'm not going to say that's why, because it's taken this long to have you on, because you kept getting bumped.
Fair enough.
But anyway, if you haven't watched this before, Harris has to face 12 questions. I gave him 6, which he could do a little bit of homework on, and then there's 6 where he's on the hot seat. And then there's, of course, the bonus questions. I will award points if I feel like it's a good enough answer or not. And if you've been watching Jack's quiz lately, which has been magnificent, of course, the points mean fuck all in this show. It seems to annoy the Americans, so that's why I keep talking about points. I enjoy it. Are you ready, mate?
I'm ready, mate.
All right. Question 1. Justify your VC existence. Why should we watch your channel and show a record that supports this?
Okay. So why should you? I've got this line of T-shirts actually. It's the music, stupid. It's all about.
Why do I know that?
I am bootlegging these. If anyone's interested, I'm using potato prints, but I'm using mashed potato.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It is about the music. I do find the VC occasionally people can start treating music like it's an academic exercise. Maybe dim the lights, the tone gets quite serious. And to be honest, you get to a point in every record buyer's life when you go through that early phase where you're buying stuff you love and you're discovering, and then you get to that sort of mid-20s, early 30s, and you start sort of buying stuff you think you should like, and you start. And we've all done it, including myself, amassing a collection of stuff that you're no longer listening to, and you're just piling. And when the records hit the floor, that's the red flag. When they're starting to hit the floor.
But is it when you're 35 you start thinking I should have some jazz records?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's jazz, krautrock. I need to investigate krautrock more. Yes. But I think there's a point you can address it, and that's what I feel I'm trying to do, almost like a vinyl psychologist. I'm saying, fine, go back in time. Remember why you fell in love with music. It's the song. That's why I show so many 12-inch. It's about the tune. Albums are 99% terrible. It's a capitalist idea, isn't it? They thought back in the 50s, how can we make more money? We're selling singles. Let's put the single on album and a load of old shite, and we can sell that for more money. Albums are essentially more or less not very good.
We'll sell it twice.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, let's love the song again. Get it back to what you. And it doesn't really matter how you listen to music. Like if you want to stream it, I stream a lot. Now I come in drunk and I just put on a load of 80s rubbish onto a playlist and just listen to that, and it's great. It's just as enjoyable as buying that Noi box set that's £132 and it's going to get listened to 3 times, and then but yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Just enjoy music and just be honest with yourself. What you love about records. For instance, I came in drunk the other night and I put on Cutting Crews. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. What a tune. I had an absolute moment with it. It was wonderful. I just died in your arms. Got it on the 12. Actually, quite hard to find in America, apparently. I didn't realize.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well,
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so
I felt
that's what I
that
chose.
made me emotional. That story.
Did
That
it?
was
Yeah,
good.
no, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious because I've been through all the phases. I've been through the
Mm.
enthusiasm phase, then I've been into the sad man phase, which lasted about. Well,
What's the
I think.
sad man phase? I'm
Well, at
probably
some
going
point,
through
I
it
remember
now.
around 2000, I think I'd accrued something like 436 Americana CDs.
What? Yeah, that's a
And
sad man phase. Yeah.
I didn't actually like any of them, but I just kept buying them because magazines do. And I had all these bands by like Sparkle Horse and I don't know where there was all this. I'm sure you'd put the CD in and it would say 18 tracks, 69 minutes, and immediately my heart would sink. I'm like, 69 minutes of this. This can't be right. It's like, there was something about that 18 tracks and 69 minutes that would come up on the CD. I'm just, what am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? Why aren't I just?
I feel a terse comment coming in the comment section from Americana Sam.
Does he like Americana? Oh no, the clues are there. Yeah.
Don't know. Just a guess.
I like
Well,
some Americana.
I think that's
I
a
thought-
solid 1 point for that. That was an excellent explanation. We've all come home drunk. We've all got that Noi box set, which is gathering dust, and we hope that one day, because we can't actually part with it, that someone will benefit from the cash that we'll make from it.
Yeah.
So that's 1 for 1. Good answer, mate.
No
All
worries.
right. Question 2. Show a record that I like.
Okay, I thought a few things about this. You know, do I go for the laughs, the lols, and show Kylie Minogue or something, or do I go completely left?
Stop using such modern terminology to confuse my average age viewership, such as lols.
Sorry, do I go for the comedy effect? But no, or do I go? You know, to pick some sort of obscure hip hoppy thing because I know you're quite into your hip hop, I believe. But do you know what, mate? In the end, I've just gone for a classic that I know you love, and it's one of my favorite ever albums. And I'm not one of those I'd rescue vinyl albums from fires. I would just run like the wind if I'm honest. But actually, if I was going to pick one, and this is such a special album to me. It's just phenomenal. It really is. It's got such a special place in my heart. This record, it has, and this is on Rough Trade as well. So it's nice. Before Hollywood by the Go-Betweens.
I love that record. You big suck.
Yeah. Is it your favourite Go-Betweens?
Yes, easily.
It is for me as well.
Yeah.
Far and away, actually. I've got to say, and I was working in HMV when Streets of Your Town came out, the 7-inch single, around 88, and they were really pushing it because they thought this is the one time we can break the Go-Between. And it was in like a 7-inch multi-pack, and we were told we've got to put it here. And I thought, Go-Betweens. And I went down my local second-hand record shop, Weasels, which is in the wrong part of town, and it was really, like all 80s record shops, it wasn't like nowadays second-hand record shops, all flash and lovely. It was just in the worst part of town with records just piled everywhere. And I bought that, not knowing what it would be like. And then it was love at first listen. It was kind of a bit like the Velvet Underground's Third, a bit like Television, but very much their own sound. And I just always thought I think sometimes it is my favourite ever record. I don't know, but
yeah. I still can't believe that Cattle and Cane that was the single off that, and they performed it on Countdown, which was the big music show here. Yeah, which is kind of like in retrospect, it was like really weird to see. It was so out of step with what was going on at the time.
Yeah, I can imagine that. And as a drummer,
I felt like that weird little drum beat that
Lindy Morrison.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing.
But I love that story because it also reminds me of when I used to work in a record store called Brash's, which was a mainstream record store in the early 90s. And same thing, I'd pop down the street to Orgogo, which was the indie one. They had their own label as well. And like tuck my Orgogo records I'd bought in my lunch break and try and sneak back through the store and put it in my bag in the back room and pretend nothing had happened. Yes.
Classic.
Anyway, that is, well, and that's an easy point. You're 2 for 2. That's
a bit obvious, that one, I'm afraid.
Oh, but, classic's a classic, mate.
Yeah.
Number 3. What is the most unusual item that has been included with a record you own? It can be either a legit part of the packaging or something that the previous owner left in there.
Yeah, I'm glad you put this. Yeah, I'm glad you put the first part in, because I read all these stories. Like, it's always been a thing. Like, oh yeah, I bought a second-hand copy of Rumours, and the Hitler's Diaries came out or something. I'm like, I never get this ever.
Did you see the one with Russ Shaw that I did, and he had like this divorce letter in there? Oh, that was insane.
I bought the Eagles' greatest hits, and the Turin Shroud appeared, which was nice. Like, none of this has ever happened to me. I think in America, you're more like, because America's got a much bigger sort of dope smoking culture. It's easier to smoke dope in America than England, because it just is. I imagine it's a bigger country. You can get away with it. So I read a lot about Americans finding paraphernalia for dope smoking, which I've never found. I have never found an unusual, and I've bought 3,000 or 4,000 secondhand records. I've never found an unusual object ever in a secondhand record. In terms of legit, one of my favourites has always been, I've got the Undertones Hypnotised here. Great album, the second, I believe. It's a good one. Yeah. Kicks off with Chocolate and Girls. That's fantastic. I was always quite fascinated by the lobster stencil that was inside. In Undertones, well, this is like a Beatles Butcher cover. This is known as Lobster Intact. I think this goes for over 2,000. If you got the lobster, 2,000. I was going to say, I know which one I would want first. But it just fascinates me, this, like, the marketing meeting. Should we maybe put a lobster stencil in? I think that'll work. Yes. That'll send it sky high. It just cracks me up. That is a ripper. I've never used the lobster. Very hard to find, though. If you go on Discogs. Yeah. I know. Yeah, I've only got a reissue of that record. Great record. Yeah. Did I have the lobster stencil on the reissue? That would be well, I know that this doesn't get much approval in the VC, but I wouldn't be able to buy it because I'm vegetarian. No, I understand. Yeah. I get it. Sorry if I caused offence. No, that great paraphernalia. That's a solid 3 points. I think I've said solid for every point I've given you. I don't know what that means. There's someone out there who will work that out psychologically. But anyway, let's go to question 4. What is the worst record by your favourite band or solo artist? And why do you bloody have it? Yeah, okay. Yes, this was difficult as well, because actually I don't keep a lot of... You just have gold? Like I farmed it. I farmed it out. But there was one that really sprung to mind, and it was huge. I mean, it was a huge deal. It was a huge cultural deal in England, and it's got to be The Second Coming by the Stone Roses, which was, it's hard to explain to, I think, to people outside the UK. I don't even know if Europe knows how big culturally the Stone Roses' first album was. It changed everything. Probably wasn't as big over here, but in terms of like, if you were into like indie stuff over here, it was huge. And just to like set this up for you, I remember we heard more about The Second coming out. Like, it was just like a constant thing. Oh, it's going to be soon. It's going to, and then there would be always like the reason why it'd be pushed back or whatever. And you'd hear all these like bizarre stories of, it's not coming out because Ian Brown's not happy that John Squire discovered Led Zeppelin and things like that. They went missing for 4 years. Can you imagine that in the pre-internet, in the post-internet era? But they literally went missing. But I mean, the debut album, it just changed Britain forever. It changed how people dressed. It brought dance music in. You look at the Stone Roses now and what's happening. They wouldn't probably exist, or that thing. wearing the Parkers and the sports gear, and it all came from the Stone Roses.
Yeah.
Culturally, you know, Pulp have just put out their first single called Spike Island. Spike Island being the gig the Stone Roses did in 1990. Look at the film Hot. That was, is it Hot Fuzz? That film where they're throwing records.
That's
at
right.
The zombies.
Yes.
And it shows how culturally important the same, because he's picking through his records to throw at zombies to work out which one he wants to throw, and he gets to the Stone Roses and he goes, "No, don't throw that." And he goes, "Well, it is the second coming." He goes, "Well, I don't mind it." For that joke to work, it has to be, you know, such a big moment. I bought it the day of release. A lot of the shops opened at midnight for it, the second coming.
Yeah.
My local shop opened at 5 a.m, I think. And I got it. And me and my mates all gathered round, like literally, I think, and I put it on because I was probably the only one with the turntable, because this was around 94. Okay. We gathered round, all my mates were stoned, and we listened to it. And it was quite clever because, in the pre-internet era, they did purposely, I believe, did a massive sort of ambient build-up to the first track, because they knew people wouldn't have heard any of the tracks and would be like literally rocking, waiting to hear it. So we were all sitting around as it built up, and then it sort of kicked into this sort of Hendrixy. And then as the album went on, there was about 6 of us, and we all slowly just drifted away without saying anything. And we all just knew it wasn't. And it was such a crushing disappointment. But it could only be a disappointment, couldn't it? It could only be a disappointment, because they changed Britain on the first album. They changed culturally Britain. They changed everything. You can't really do that again. And
it wouldn't have mattered what they put out. Even if it was great, it's always going to be compared to the first one.
Do you know what? I started listening to it again. Some of it ain't bad.
It's not terrible. Like the single "Love Spreads" is great.
Yeah, Breaking Into Heaven with that build-up. That's fantastic. Actually, it's almost a bit krautrocky. He's got and you as a drummer, some of the drumming on here.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah.
Manny.
Yeah, it's probably the most maligned, not shit record.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
But in the context of the time, it was crushing. It was absolutely crushing. And then, do you know what? Because I knew I was doing this, I started listening to it again, and some of it ain't bad. It's a 6 out of 10, maybe. It sags in the middle. It seriously sags in the middle, but
that's a great pick. Great pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how they went in America, but to my ears, because Second Coming's way more guitar-y, and you can hear all that. I reckon that a lot of it sort of plays more into that classic rock ear of a lot of American fans. So I'm surprised it didn't do okay over there. But anyway,
it probably did better than the debut, I imagine. But I mean, there's a lot of Hendrix on there, and actually the guitar playing is phenomenal at times. The drumming is fantastic.
Oh, they're incredible. Did you see the was that the doco when they got back together and played those shows?
Yeah.
That was really good. And Remy
No, sorry,
lost his mind and left the band for 5 minutes, and all because of his. That's a bit too much, as the Americans would say, inside baseball. But you're getting a point for that. That's a great pick, because it not only was like, I remember that it was like, oh, it's coming, and then when it come, it was just like, and then it's done the weird thing of, oh, it's actually not too bad.
Which happens with 60s albums as well, doesn't it? You'll get one that's just maligned, and then it's interesting how that works, isn't it? But yeah.
Cool. So that makes you 5 from 5. Smashing it, man. Smashing it. All right. Number 4 from 4. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Question 5. Tell a story of the most unusual or funny thing that has happened at a gig you've attended or played.
Again, these were quite difficult because I'm not a big gig goer. I'm just not. I don't really like being around people that much. A gig is really not a great place for me to be. And yeah, and I do suffer a bit from claustrophobia. So again, it's not great. But so I don't have a lot. But my favourite gig memory and the day, what is it the kids say? If the kids say, have a great night out now, they say something like, oh, last night was a movie, apparently. That's apparently a thing to say. You go, oh, that was a... The day that was more like a movie for me is when I went to... When Madness...
Silly me, I always thought a movie was a movie.
When Madness announced their reunion at Finsbury Park in 92. Now, Madness were the biggest band in Britain probably through the 80s. Yeah. So that was a massive deal. They did Finsbury Park 92. All the old skinheads were going to come out of the woodwork. And support was Morrissey. And so there
really?
Was, yeah. So there was, and it was the famous gig. So there was 35,000 ex-skinheads in Finsbury Park, North London. And Finsbury Park ain't a place you want to go at night, to be honest. It was about 90 degrees all day. I was in my what you'd call my jackpot drinking phase of my life, where you never quite knew what was going to happen when you pulled the lever. We set off about 7 in the morning. I loved Madness and Morrissey. I loved both. I was kind of dressed a bit like Morrissey. I was absolutely off my face. We all were by the time we got there, about 11. North London was just a sea of skinheads in pubs, aging skinheads. And it was just this phenomenal. All I can describe it as is an 80s British football match with this sort of heaving tension all day. But Morrissey rocked up and he lasted 8 songs and got coined off. And he unfurled the Union flag and he had to abandon gig after about 8 or 9 songs. I watched it on YouTube, actually. It's not quite as bad as I remember, but it was all right.
Oh, okay.
And then Madness came on at 9 o'clock at night, this boiling hot evening. By now, 35,000 are absolutely off their faces. Everyone's been drinking for about 14 hours. They came on and did One Step Beyond. The place went berserk. I must have shifted from about 500 yards from one side. There was a bloke on crutches next to me having the time of his life, just whacking everyone with his crutches. They had to abandon this is actually... I checked, this is true. They had to abandon all the tower blocks opposite because it registered on the Richter scale. And about 6 tower blocks in Finsbury had to get evacuated. It was mayhem. It was just the whole day just played out. I was as I was sort of dressed as Morrissey, I was on the run from these aging. I say aging, they were 30, but to me they were ancient.
No, that would have been really old back then, though.
Yeah, and I would just remember getting pelted with apples, water bottles, anything they could lay their hands on. I was getting, but I loved it. I was just, I was off my face. I didn't know what.
Didn't have brought your gladiolus with you. You would have been fine.
I will say I didn't particularly like Morrissey at this point, but funny enough, one of the reasons I think he just brought out Your Arsenal, which is his last good album as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree.
That was the one with he was starting to get some negative because of some of the song titles and lyrical themes.
Yeah,
I love that album, by the way. And it was just a crazy day. It was a crazy day. It really was.
I love that. I love it's like when a band has got back together, and it's like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, like you see, we like, we have. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not into the Australian bands, which are big enough to have that kind of thing. But Madness are actually really popular over here in the 80s. Like that, a lot of their singles were always in the top 40 over here. They were love Madness, love that whole like ska revival scene.
Yeah, they were huge in Britain. I think they had the most top 10s of any band in the 80s.
Really? That's amazing.
They were monster. Yeah.
They'd be like one of those bands, if you put on a compilation, you'd know.
Yeah. They did 2 nights. They did Saturday and Sunday. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Morrissey cried off sick. He called in sick for Sunday. He didn't turn up. He didn't do it. So they played to 70,000 over 2 days. So that shows you they were a huge deal. But no, he never played the second day.
Mozza, he's loves to cancel the show, doesn't he?
I couldn't blame him.
All right, 5 for 5. Last question of the pre-production round, as I like to call it, just as of now. Number 6. Show your favorite music-related fruit or vegetable that's not a banana.
Okay. Well, I've gone for what we call a multi-veg and fruit approach. So we've got carrot.
Oh, you've gone
Sweet.
the Steve Morrison route and just showing actual fruit and vegetables.
Carrot, swede, lime. No, hang on.
Thank you.
No, hang on. Swede, carrot, lime. Swede, carrot, lime. Sweet carrot.
I get
it. Good times never felt so good. Come on, VC. Can you hear me at the back?
Yeah, I can't deny that.
18 years I've been waiting to do that. 18 bloody years I've been at that. I've had that in my back pocket. I thought one day someone's going to interview me.
Yeah, wow, it's worked out perfectly. And also, I had an uncle who, whenever there would be karaoke, he'd get drunk, and that would be his song. So yeah, 6 for 6. Okay, now we're into the you're on the hot seat questions. You're out on your own here, no preparation. Number 7. This is the polarizing question for the VC. Apologize for liking Van Morrison, or celebrate with me or dislike.
Well, I'm in a difficult spot. I'm in a difficult spot with a lot of these questions. Van Morrison isn't either someone you love or hate. I don't mind it.
I've never heard I don't mind with him.
I mean, there's a couple of tracks on Astral Weeks I love. I really do. Madam George off Astral Weeks is one of my favourite ever songs. The one where he's got a dog on the cover. I love that. Vegan Fleece. I love that. And actually, he did a song with Cliff Richard. Whenever love shines, it's one of my favourite tunes. It's great. You've got to hear that song. You must know.
I don't know that.
You do. It got to number 1, I think. It was on top of the pop still permanently in about 1989. So wow. I'm in a different spot. I don't mind. If you'd said Tom Waits, easy. He's rubbish. I can't.
Well, what I like is you're obviously not playing to win. So 0 points.
What? I can't believe it.
6 from 7.
Yeah. Okay.
It's harsh but fair. All right. Number 8. 12-inch singles. Why bother?
Why bother? I could be boring. Well, one, they're quite cheap. You can, because essentially I'm at that point in my life, as a lot of VCers are, if they were honest with themselves, all you really want to do is buy a record. You don't actually want to listen to it. So, a lot of people are just buying records and just filing them away. So if I'm going to do that, I might as well just spend £1.99.
I'll pull you up on one point. A lot of people in the VC aren't buying records just to file them away. They show them first.
No, you're right. So that's one of my reasons. I thought, well, I'm addicted to buying records. So if I am, I might as well, ease the addiction down. It's kind of like, but no, and the sound quality is amazing. And I do love them. The sound quality is insane. Vinyl records one of the few areas where the less you spend, the higher the quality is. So if you buy a 12-inch for 99p, it's going to completely out some audio file because it has to, because it's one song on one side. So there you go.
You've changed your tune. I seem to remember watching some of your old videos, and you would make a thing about the sound of 12 inches, and you'd be like, but just keep it on the quiet to keep the price down. Don't tell the audio files.
And then Mofile started doing those bloody 45 double remasters, one track on each side. It's like, oh my God, they got it. They've done me. But
you still be paying like $100 for one of them.
Yeah, it's win-win. You get a unique sleeve, you get a remix, the sound quality is great, and when you ultimately don't bother listening to it and just file it away, it hasn't cost you anything. So,
excellent answer. Bounced back beautifully from the Van Morrison debacle. So that's 7 from 8, doing well. Now, This question, I've waited until I had an expert. I haven't asked this question before.
Oh, no.
Now, I want you to explain, for the benefit of Mazzy and for Vinyl Richie, the correct use of the term wanker.
Okay. Wanker. Well, no, yeah, it's not like, yeah, it's become like a verb sort of thing. And they say something like, this is the wanker of the album or something.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Vinyl Richie said that. Mazzy's just like, I've been to England. I know how to use it.
Yeah. You've got to use it. Yeah, you've got to deploy it at the right point. Mate, you're a wanker. And it doesn't ever quite sound right. You see, have you noticed when Americans say "never mind the bollocks," they say "never mind the bullocks"? I don't.
Yeah, which is a department store.
And I'm sure there's loads of stuff I say American, which is wrong, by the way. But no, you just wanker's a wanker, a bloke's a wanker. He's a wanker. But yeah, saying things like I think this is the wanker track on the album. That's not right.
It's not a thing. It
doesn't work. I've never heard anyone in England use it like that.
Yeah. No. And is it the same like we use it over here? It can be equally like, that bloke's a fucking wanker, or it can be like, hey, you big wanker, how you going?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, yeah, it's a term of endearment. Many times. Well, I hope it is because I get called it quite frequently. So I'm going to assume it's a term of endearment.
Obviously,
wanker.
Obviously,
cheers, mate. Where are you going?
Solid, beautifully explained point.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 10. This is going to be really difficult for you.
Oh God.
Show a 12-inch.
Oh, okay. You didn't. I'm not prepared for this.
That's why these are unprepared questions.
Oh, this is interesting. Bought this the other day. £1.99 charity shop. The Razor Cut. Do you know that one?
No. I like the cover though.
It's on Flying Nun England.
What?
Flying Nun UK. Yeah, I know.
How old is that?
86, 87.
Oh, so I have never heard of the Razor Cuts, and I thought I was all over Flying Nun stuff.
Well, they're English, and they were a classic. You know the C86 bands in England. You know C86?
Yeah.
So they were in the C86 scene. Very jangly.
Yeah.
But look at this price. Started off at $10.99. Then went to $14.99. I kept my eye on it. Flipped to $1.99. It's worth quite a bit of money, actually. I think it goes for about 10, 15 quid. But yeah, nice. It's a classic sort of 12-inch. 4 tracks.
So would you say it fits in with the Flying Nun sound?
It's very much an English jangle sound, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Flying Nun
Razor
UK.
Cuts.
I didn't even know there was a Flying Nun UK.
Me neither. That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, you get your full song again. It's a nice little mini album. Because let's be honest, that's another reason. Razor Cuts, their albums are going to suck, aren't they? They're going to be about 4 good tunes, so you get. And actually, all these tunes are pretty decent, pretty solid. Yeah. But
That was just. If anyone didn't know any different, they would think that was a pre-prepared question.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's good, that wasn't it?
Excellent work.
Excellent.
All right. Question number 11. Who is your favorite bass player?
Oh, that's easy. That's so easy. Not only my favorite bass player, probably my favorite human being in musical history, probably the most important person in musical history.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say in architectural history. Who's your favorite bass player?
James Jamerson.
Beautiful.
Just incredible. Just so insanely not underrated, because the guy's played on 700 bloody top 10 hits, but he just not only invented modern pop music, all the punks in England were ripping off his bass lines. If people don't know, by the way, James Jamerson was in the Funk Squad, which was the Motown house band.
The Funk Brothers.
The Funk Brothers. Just phenomenal. Just the greatest ever. ever.
He would probably rival the drummer Earl Palmer of being one of the most recorded people ever.
Oh, and the guy just invented that kind of bass line. He invented pop music bass line. You know, you listen to the punk like the Damned and the Buzzcocks, you know, Fast Cars, all that. It's all James Jamerson. They were all the punks. They loved Motown, and all the British punks would have grown up on Motown.
Yeah. And it's melodic bass playing.
Yeah, and it's so inventive, and it's brilliant. I mean, I go on YouTube and just put James Jamerson isolated bass lines, and do you know what the tragedy of James Jamerson is? Do you know what the tragedy?
That was a window into you I wasn't expecting.
I know. That's a Friday night for me. That's a bank holiday weekend. But the crazy thing is, I would say he's the most important person in Motown, right? James Jamerson, maybe in music, modern music. When they did the Motown 25th anniversary, when Michael Jackson did the moonwalk, they didn't invite James Jamerson.
No way.
He had to buy his own ticket. The guy who played bass on about 700 and wrote the bass lines on, and he had to buy his own ticket and sat crying through the whole thing and died about 2 months later, alcoholism.
That is bullshit.
He was a mess anyway, which is probably why they didn't invite him. But the guy's a genius.
Yet another reason to not like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, man, didn't invite James Jamerson.
That's terrible.
I know.
Prince would have.
Yeah.
10 for 11. You're doing all right. We're up to the last question of the regular round, and I can say you're very safe, because I think the person who sometimes helps out is fast asleep right now.
Okay.
So number 12, because I did send a message. Say, hello everybody, in your best Vinyl Richie style.
Okay, no worries at all. Oh god. Okay. Hey everybody, Vinyl Rich here, and I'm here to say the VC is a load of crap. I love it when he does that thing with his hands. How does he do that?
You got some vocal sizzle on that as well. That was magnificent.
He's the Don, isn't he? There's never a time I'm not watching a Vinyl Richie video. You know what I mean? It's never going to happen.
I just know, because I'm going to award you points, and he'll be like first comment and be critical of it. Like, that was the whole reason I ended up getting him on, because I was like, well, if you think I don't know what I'm doing, you judge the people. So you were lucky. The time differences helped you out. So I'm sure he's fast asleep.
He sort of looks into the distance and then just makes some comment about it. I've been watching videos and they're terrible.
Well, he said to me once, he was just like, what did he say? He goes, I think people must think I have ADHD because I never look at the camera. He's always over here.
He's the man.
That was good. That was a real good one. So you are on a very respectable score of 11 out of 12.
All right.
This is the one that sorts the wheat from the chaff here. This is the bonus question. And I catered this for you because of, I don't want to cast aspersions on your personality, but we do know that you don't mind to get on the gas every now and then.
Yeah, definitely.
So here we go. What is the name of the Melbourne pub on the corner of Flinders and Swanson Streets that is famous for having the 1875 oil painting by French academic painter Jules Lefebvre? I'm sure I pronounced that right.
Okay.
Known simply as Chloe.
I was going to say, can you repeat the question? But no, don't bother. The name of the pub?
Yes.
Is it the Kangaroo and Boomerang?
Oh, it's an and and an and. I don't want to you went hard early, but I'll allow you some thinking time.
Should I know this?
I don't know.
I haven't got a clue. You've got to be joking. I
got to say that at this point in the series of these interviews, I'm really fucking disappointed that by this point nobody's done any homework on Australia at all. They know that the bonus question is going to be an Australian fact, and just nobody cares. Like,
I thought it was going to be on Prisoner Cell Block H or Home and Away or something. Or Rebecca Elmaloglu's film career, filmography. I thought, oh yeah, I've nailed it. I've been up 4 nights. I haven't slept for 4 nights. Looking at pictures of Rebecca Elmaloglu.
I'm bringing them questions in, actually. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, I don't know. A lot of... Is it the Fitzroy?
That's not a bad guess, because there is a pub called the Fitzroy.
Yeah.
But it's the one... have you ever heard of Flinders Street Station? Like, it's probably the most famous...
It rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah. It's a famous train station, been there forever.
Yeah.
It's opposite that. It's called the Young and Jackson.
Okay. Right. No, I was never going to get that.
Yeah.
I was never getting that.
What'd you say? The kangaroo and something? That was...
Kangaroo.
Yeah.
Can I just say I hate racial stereotyping?
That's surprising, because you were pretty good at it just then. No.
Yeah. The Vegemite and Fosters.
Yes. All right. You did really well. That was like fantastic, 11 out of 12, not including the bonus question. The only person I think who's got that right, I'm sure I'll be corrected in the comments by the competitive Americans, is Vinyl Richie. He got me.
He got the action.
Yeah, he got the bonus when I asked what's the name of the sporting event between Australia and England. And I didn't even occur to me, because I'm not from the northern states, where they play rugby. Yeah. And I was thinking the cricket, the Ashes.
Yeah.
And he's just gone the rugby. And I'm like, I think you're actually right. And he's
I know, yeah.
Smashed it.
I'm not a rugby fan either, but as soon as he said it, I'm like, I think he's nailed it.
Yeah, and he did. So that was pretty impressive. All right. Well, anything you'd like to add to that? And just keep in mind that time is of a premium, because we know that Embryonic Brian will complain about the length of these videos from pure jealousy that his was first video and was rather short, but he answers much more concisely than the
Brian is a concise gentleman. Yeah, no, he doesn't muck about, does he? No, no, that's fine, mate. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been emotional. And once I press the end button on this, you can cry on my shoulder. I will do.
Yeah. Thanks for being on, mate. Really appreciate it. And we'll hopefully I'll have this uploaded sometime soon. I'm going on holidays. So if you leave a comment, don't expect me to answer back for like 6 weeks. All right. See you in the next one.